In the heart of the Pantena Valley, halfway between the city of Verona and the Lessini Mountains, stands the Cantina della Valpantena, or the Pantena Valley Winery, one of the most successful wine producers in the province of Verona. The valley, whose name derives from the Greek Pantheos, the valley of all the gods, boasts winemaking traditions going all the way back to the 1st century BC. The wines produced here were much appreciated by the Emperor Augustus, and even the poet Virgil mentions the valley in his works as worthy of good things. In the 16th century, it was known as Golden for the large amount of excellent wine. The Pantena Valley has always been one of the areas that have made the most energetic strides over the years in that process of modernizing wine growing and grape processing for which the Cantina della Valpantena is symbolic. The winery started operations in 1958 as a cooperative association of a number of Veronese vine growers. In a short time, however, it was able to draw in nearly all the producers in the area. Today, the Cantina della Valpantena is a successful winery that has made its mark on the world's leading markets through its quality and competitive capacity. It is an umbrella for some 270 Veronese vine growers and has a collective surface area of 600 hectares of vines, distributed throughout the province's major controlled denomination of origin production zones. After the merger of the Oleificio delle Colline Veronesi oil mill in 2003, the cooperative took on board a further 150 oil producers, thus forming an efficient and comprehensive concentration of oil and wine producers on Verona's doorstep. The mill's production system makes it possible to accurately oversee the course of the raw material and its transformation through close monitoring at every stage, ensuring compliance with European foodstuff standards with its obtaining of the British BRC and German IFS certificates. All the wine mill's final products, extra virgin olive oil DOP and extra virgin olive oil, are among the very best regional oils of the north of Italy, with outstanding characteristics of taste and smell, delicate harmonies and fragrances. Starting from the 1990s, the investment in grape growing and the care taken in the winemaking stages allowed the winery to also reach an excellent level of quantity, thereby allowing it to compete in international markets. The care of the vines begins first of all from phytosanitary protection, through a careful monitoring of pathogens present, the consultation of weather stations, insect traps and periodic inspections in the vineyard. Proper nutrition of the vines and careful management are actions aimed at obtaining the best results in the vineyards and are a fundamental part of the whole chain of production of the wine. To guarantee all of this, the Cantina Valpantena draws on the services of a highly qualified staff, including the agronomic manager, whose job it is to constantly monitor the territory, closely supervise the vine growers and provide them with the assistance they need. The Cantina della Valpantena's vineyards are spread over the most important Veronese wine production areas, those of the Valpolicella and Soave, a diversity of vineyards such as to guarantee a comprehensive range of different wine types. The grapes grown are those typical of the territory: Corvina, Corvinone, Rondinella and Garganega, which are supplemented by a number of international vines such as Cabernet, Merlot and Chardonnay that complete the variety. The type of system used is mainly gouillot, a growing method that makes for the production of high-quality grapes by reducing the number of bunches on the vine. The single or double pergola system is also used, which lends itself, among other things, to manual grape picking. The harvest is one of the highlights in the production of the wine. The grapes are picked in different ways. Using a mechanical system that ensures the picking is done when the grapes have reached the required ripeness, and especially for late harvests. The system used is mainly gouillot, a growing method that is aimed at the production of high-quality grapes by reducing the number of bunches on the vine. The other method is picking by hand, the classical method with baskets, which allows the selection of the grape at the right degree of ripeness on the plant itself. Finally, the traditional harvest on simple or double pergolas, with the selection of the best bunches of the grapes to be put in plateaus which are destined to be dried, the so-called appassimento that goes to produce the famous Amarone and Recioto wines. On arrival at the winery, the grapes are classified and separated by variety, quality and area of production. A special machine takes bunches at random from the heaps of grapes, and chemical analyses are carried out on them to establish the sugar content and then the quality of the grapes. From here, the de-stalker crusher removes the stalks from the bunches and softly yet firmly presses the grapes. This is what is called a fresh harvest in the trade. After pressing, the grapes and the must are put into steel tanks, and this is where fermentation begins. The grapes and must will remain in the tanks for up to 30 days, depending on the type of wine. The quality of the product is guaranteed by the complete supervision of every stage of the production process, from the vineyard to marketing, with the application of the ISO 9001 quality management system and very strict foodstuff standards such as the BRC and IFS. In this case, the grapes are not pressed on their arrival in the winery. The bunches have been arranged on tidy plateaus and stored in special ventilated warehouses where the temperature and humidity are electronically controlled. The grapes will be left here to dry for up to 100 days. At the end of this period, the grapes will have lost up to 40% of their weight. The liquid component has evaporated and the sugary part has gained the upper hand. At this point, what is known as the second harvest is carried out. The grapes are hand-selected one after the other. Those that are ruined or have mould are discarded, and the others are then pressed and transferred with the must into fermentation tanks. This is the famous centuries-old procedure handed down through the generations, necessary for producing the passiti or withered dried grape wines, Recioto and Amarone, of which Verona is so proud. After fermentation, the wine moves on to refinement in wooden barrels, which gives it greater body and smooths away its imperfections. The wine is left to stand in the barrel cellar from 12 to 18 months. Each barrel holds between 3 and 4 tons, and in addition there is a selection of French oak barriques, each holding 250 litres. At the end of this period, the wine is ready to be blended and prepared for bottling. Before bottling, the laboratories carry out one more analysis to check the quality of the wine. The automatic bottling line takes up the bottles, injects the wine into them, corks and labels them in a matter of minutes. The high-tech machinery means work is done in total safety and guarantees the wine a high standard of hygiene. There are several checkpoints along the bottling line to avoid errors that cannot be seen by the human eye. In 2002, the Cantina della Valpantena obtained the Quality Management System certificate based on the ISO 9001 international standard. And furthermore, every stage in the production process is certified, thus fully meeting the foodstuff's traceability requirement. In practice, anyone buying a product from the Cantina della Valpantena can find out precisely and in detail the path the wine took before ending up on his or her table. In the company shop situated in the winery's new building, it is possible to find the DOC wines as well as the IGT wines of the Verona province alongside DOP Veneto oil. Many of these wines have won prestigious awards in leading international competitions such as those of Vinitaly and the Decanter magazine tasting. All awards testify the constant research to improve the whole chain of production from the grape to the wine in the bottle. The winery has always based itself on improvement, development and tradition, and has managed to marry the ancient art of wine production with modern consumption patterns, using a high-level quality system that places Cantina Valpantena at the very forefront of the Italian wine scene.